Hey, what's up? I've just been looking over this wand, and I think we can finally go down to the 320, which is kind of like the finishing stuff. It's still going to need like several rounds of that, so this is probably the last video I'm going to make where I just show me sanding and rinsing. Well, I probably won't show the rinsing here, but I mean, that's not going to be the most exciting part, and the drying time in between is going to be very long. So I'm not really interested in wasting everybody's time with stuff like that, so I will probably not show that. Sorry, I was obviously in the middle of a thought there. I'm so tempted to carve this, but I would want to get new carving tools before I did that, because I really don't want to jack this up. I know Holly, bless her heart, said something about the sandworm, and I would have to go back and look because I don't recall. So basically this is the last video where I'm just going to show me sanding here, and then I'll probably have a quick one at the end. Once I've done this, it'll probably take, it's probably gonna be a couple weeks before this is actually done, because I can't work on it all the time. In fact, you notice my table today is a different color because the other one got appropriated. So now this one's going to get cut up because the other person wasn't thinking. So I'm going to go ahead and start sanding this. It's going to be really freaking boring, and just know the next video that comes out is probably going to be the one in its finished state, or, well, it's going to be finished as far as I'm concerned, and then if I choose to set it aside and then start doing some carving, and I honestly don't think I will at this point in time, then I'll let you know. And the reason I don't think I'll do that is because I have so much freaking wood. I did a little homeless thing today. We were making food to the exceptionally large homeless population, and so we chose an area and we did that. And I was trying to get these tables out because I have several, another one the same size, and two that are quite large, much larger than this, and I had kind of trouble working around all the driftwood that I have. So I really need to get focused on getting some more of that out before I start working on carving. And I did contemplate burning it too. I did find my burner. I assume it still works. It hasn't been used in 4 or 5 years, so we'll see. I might need to get a new set for that, but anyways, I suppose I could talk while I'm sanding. The wand itself isn't too bad right now, actually. I mean, it's nowhere near where I would want to sell it. It still needs 3, 4, 5, 6 more of these, but I think that at this point I have to switch to the 320. I think the 220 might be a little bit coarse because we're kind of in the finishing stages for the basic feel, and so 320 is kind of the way to go. Man, this table is up so much higher than my other one. But, I know you said it was a sandworm, Holly, but I'm not. I'd have to go back and look because I genuinely don't recall, which is not uncommon. I mean, my job is to feed as much information as my brain through the week as I can, and then make decisions on it. Oh my God, my arm's already freaking tired. That's so stupid. I'm pretty dehydrated, actually. And as we were standing out in the sun, as we were making these basically sack lunches. We were making sack lunches for the homeless today, so you won't find anything on my Instagram or my YouTube or anything like that on that. I don't need a virtue signal every time I do a good thing. I do a lot of good things actually, but it was a little bit more personal than just I didn't do it for the gram. I did contemplate getting like a little blower, like maybe a like one of the pneumatic tools, the air tools, and then just using a blower on that to see if I could blow enough out of it that I wouldn't have to rinse, and I could get some more sanding in before I had to rinse. Because once this is smooth, then I'm pretty much done. I can't do anything else until I rinse the particles out and then see where it's really at, as opposed to how it feels. And so I thought about getting one of those. Then I'm like, let's see how much. I mean, the most expensive thing so far that I'm using on this is sandpaper, because everything else I already purchased, right? So do I really want to buy a whole system just to do that? I mean, there are other things I could use it for, but it wouldn't get used for that really, because if I were to get back into, so I was dabbling with making armor, and I made a breastplate, and I made a helmet, all sorts of stuff. I made all sorts of stuff, and not like, you know, this isn't fancy shit, but it worked. It wasn't bad at all, and you know, nice beginner pieces for stuff like that. And you could say I could use it for that, but the price to get like sheet metal shipped over here is pretty much prohibitively expensive, right? So it was prohibitively expensive the last time I lived here, and that you know, costs haven't gone down, right? So we're not talking like sheet metal you can pick up at like Home Depot or Lowe's or something like that. We're not talking about that. We're talking about like cold rolled steel that they have to ship. I have the tools for doing it, but I don't have. Metal is prohibitively expensive. I'm gonna try and knock this out, knock some of this off. All right, since feel is not going to be quite right on here, what I'm not all the time, that I'm kind of using visual cues too. If I can see tool marks, or I can see a big difference, then I'll get that area a little bit more. But doing it a lot more is largely not going to help, because it's full of sanded particles that I've already sanded once. Can work on this end a little bit more. It's got some tool marks still going on. Still got some red ink, red pencil on here. Gotta take care of that. This part in here, you've noticed I've not been really sanding. It's because it's just going to get filed. I have some diamond files in there, and I'll probably just use those on it and call it good, because sanding it otherwise is going to not really produce much. That I really, the areas that need it the most, right? Now I could sit there and work on that forever, but there's no point to that, right? It's not where our attention is. So let's give it a look. I can see some here, but if I sanded that, it's not going to work. All right, a little bit of roughness here. well, I can feel a difference. It's not really rough. It feels pretty smooth, but let's give it a sand. And the sand, the pores also clog the areas that need it the most, right? So even though you see stuff flipping off, it doesn't mean I'm getting what really needs to be done. And that's, so like here, for example, you can see there are a lot of grooves. I can feel some grooves when I go this way, but if I go this way, I don't. So let's just go ahead and do a little bit more on that, but only a little bit, because a lot isn't really going to be helpful. Because this really isn't, I mean, this is a visual indicator, which is better than just the feel, but it's a little rough here. But it's not the true state, if you will, of where it is. All right, so this is largely just going to get rinsed now, and that's it. So I will be, I'll still be working on this, and I will let you know when it's done, because there's no point in just showing you more like this. You know, I had stuff to say in the front also, which is, I needed to say it so I could say, hey, you know, I'm going to come back with this wand at some other point when it's more complete. Like, I'll probably work on this once tomorrow, if I'm lucky twice, and then it probably won't get touched again, maybe until the next weekend. Probably have to hike next weekend, so I don't know how much work will get done on it. Not as much as this weekend, I suspect. So I'm just going to go over these again. I can feel some of them. All right, and I'll be switching over to wand 4 for a little bit. And then once you get to the point where I kind of have to wait for that to rinse and dry, then I'll just switch to other wands that I'm probably not making videos of, because it takes up a lot of extra time to do the videos. I mean, there's obvious interest in it, so of course I'm going to keep doing that. And so I will be doing a video on wand 4 here after I rinse this off and set it up to dry. Yeah, guess we'll see how many. I'm recording it this at a lower resolution because it takes less time to upload, and I get tired of having to wait an hour between videos, right? Or recording them all, then it takes me 6 hours to upload three 20-minute videos, or, you know, by the time you put all the transfers into place and nonsense like that. So here we go. We'll get that next time. All right, have a good one.